Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm reviewing LEGO Marvel set number 76219, Spider-Man and Green Goblin Mech Battle. This has 296 pieces, 2 reused minifigures, and it retails for $20 in the US. These mechs are interesting, but I kind of feel like they're the worst of all the 2022 ones. Here's the Spider-Man minifigure that LEGO's been using since, I believe, 2019 or December 2018. Obviously, it looks pretty good, except for the printed arms, which are horribly off-colored. Again, I don't understand why LEGO has so many issues with printing. There's also no dual molded legs on this version, which kind of sucks, but it's still a good minifigure. It would just be a lot better if those arms were actually the right color. And I forget when this Green Goblin first appeared, but I know that he was in sets last year. I think this is like the same one that comes in the Daily Bugle, although the Daily Bugle one might have like leg print or dual molded legs. Looks pretty good. Love the torso print. Really like the face, and obviously the hat and the earpiece is good as always. He does have an alternate face as well, which is pretty nice, but neither of these minifigures come with any kind of accessories at all, which like really detracts from the play value. This is like our millionth Spider-Man mech from LEGO. Actually, I think it's our 4th, but I mean, that's like 3 too many. It's interesting because I believe these mechs are based off of like some TV show or something called like Monster Mech, like something like Strike. I don't know. I did not do research before looking into this, but that's why this printed piece has like an eye on it, because I think that these are supposed to be like living mechs. Again, it's like a kid's show. I don't know what's going on with it, but I mean, it's a cool take on like the $10 mech sets from Marvel. This one, as you can tell, is quite large for a Spider-Man mech. It's really beefy, which makes sense if it's a monster, and it's got a lot of cool design features. So the shoulders are really bulky, much bulkier than other sets, and I kind of like that. It adds a lot of nice blue into the build, and it does like provide these like shoulder armor pieces. And I did not mean to absolutely wreck that, but yeah, these things are not the strongest. Okay, sorry. Let's get back into it. So yeah, I really like how large these shoulders are. They add a lot of heft to the build, and I like the spikes coming off of them, and I really like the spikes coming out of the back as well. These are adjustable in a couple different directions, so you can get a lot of different looks with that. And speaking of spikes, that continues all the way down into the hands, where you have these cheese slopes, which I think are meant to look like the hairs on like spider legs, like they're grippy hairs that they use to grip stuff. So that's pretty cool. And then his fingers are made up of black ice skate pieces. So that's a really interesting build. But overall, I don't really like these arms just because they are so chunky and rectangular. There's one less like joint in these than there are on most of the mechs. And so that just makes them really awkward in my opinion, because they're so long that they reach like pretty much to the ground. The feet are the larger style feet, while traditionally Spider-Man mechs have used like the thinner, like 1 stud wide build. We've also got, again, like chunky ankles over here, although the hips are just the same. And I have talked about the hip differences in these mechs versus the last couple of years. The mechs can no longer rotate at the waist, and the legs are now lopsided, which does bother me. But I feel like it's a little bit less noticeable on this mech just because it is so large. You've also got some like more black hairs on the feet. That's cool. And this piece can fold open, although the tile kind of prevents it from opening all the way. And it's really easy to just slide Spider-Man in there and get him ready to go. Here's Green Goblin's mech, and this one is weirdly slender compared to the Spider-Man one. Like, out of Spider-Man and Green Goblin, I would have expected Goblin to have the beefier mech, but this is what I was talking about with the foot design. This has the 1 stud wide design, and I like that the tips are kind of like curled up like Goblin shoes. I think the ankles are a little bit too wide. I don't think the cheese slope on the end is needed. And overall, I do not like the color scheme on this thing. I think there's too much going on. There's like regular bright green, there's lime green, there's purple, and then obviously there's all the gray from the ball joints. And I think it just really throws it off. I think that LEGO needed to stick with 1 shade of green, and I would have preferred the regular green because that matches the minifigure. A couple lime green accents might have been fine, but I think that there's just way too much because I feel like it overpowers the whole mech, and it just really clashes with the other shade of green and purple. This guy's shoulders are also larger than most mechs, and I really like the armor up here. He's also got a couple of these new stud/tile shooters. That's cool. Would have preferred these to be transparent though, or printed. Like printed pumpkin bombs would be really nice. Yeah, Lego should make those. We're overdue for those. We've also got another printed monster eye here. And at the back, you've got this little piece hanging off, which I guess is supposed to look like the tip of his hat. So that's nice, but that's like the only character on this mech. Like, you've got the pointed shoes and you've got that little like hat tip, but I'm kind of like, where's the Green Goblin-ness of this mech? Like, you couldn't have built a bigger hat or even given it a glider, or like given it glider feet or something. Like, Green Goblin flies on a glider. That's his most iconic like pose. And so to not have that represented in any kind of way in this set is just lame. You can open up his cockpit more easily, and then he fits right in there. Again, too much lime green back there, in my opinion. But I do really like the purple. Lego's purple is like one of my favorite Lego colors. And I really like his hands as well. You can like move these fingers out, and he does get actual fingers, not like the other mechs besides the Black Panther one this year, who just have like those small little like rod pieces. I like that he gets like full fingers. Like, he has the best hands of any mech this year, in my opinion. And he can like really hold minifigures with these, and you can get like fun poses. I like it when mechs have like good big hands. It just makes them more interesting. And like I said, you can get a lot of cool poses. There's one right there. But yeah, last complaint about this mech, it's also not really finished at all around the back like the other ones. And again, I think that that's kind of lazy because it would just take a couple more pieces for it to look pretty good back there. Here are the extra pieces for this set. $20 box with the same art that's been used since 2019. On the back, it shows the mechs, but again, you can really see how few play features there are in this set because like the mechs are literally just standing there. We've got two little instruction manuals here, which are like kind of weirdly empty. Like, the mechs are really small on the front. The Goblin one does have an ad for the other 2022 mech sets. I gotta be honest, I don't think that this is a very good set. It's a good value for $20, I will say that, just because you get two good-sized vehicles for like the hero and the villain to fight each other with. So there's play value there, but compared to other mechs, like the Spider-Man one has more limited articulation and can't grip anything in its fingers at all, even though like they look cool. And the Goblin Mech, like, it's fine, but the color scheme is just like kind of garish in my opinion. And I feel like it really doesn't have enough personality. I also just don't think we needed another Spider-Man mech. Like, couldn't we have gotten like Spider-Woman or something to fight Green Goblin? Or like Gwen, like Spider-Gwen could have gotten a mech. That would have been so much more interesting because at least it would be a new color scheme. I also, again, I think it's super weird that the Spider-Man mech is so large and beefy while Green Goblin isn't. Like, Green Goblin having a slender mech makes sense, but to me, if one of them is going to be beefy, it's not going to be Spider-Man, who's like a very nimble hero. And also, there's no accessories. So if you get the minifigures out of the mech, there's nothing to do but just like smash them into each other. You don't get any webs, you don't get any like proper pumpkin bombs. Like, there's no glider, and that's really, really dumb in my opinion. Other mech sets have included like a full web pack for Spider-Man. So I don't think that this set, like, the set feels like kind of an afterthought. Like, it was just slapped together to have like a cheap like Spider-Man and Green Goblin set on the market. And I feel like you can kind of see that in the design. There's also no exclusive minifigure, so no reason to buy it in terms of minifigure collectors. The only reason I bought this set is because like I buy every single Lego Marvel set. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this set in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com, and I will see you guys in more videos soon. Bye for now.